I didn't realize when I stopped being a mother and became a servant in my own daughter's house. It didn't happen in a day. Now, if it had, maybe I would have noticed. Maybe I would have fought back sooner. But some changes are like slow poison. They slip into your life quietly, without noise, without warning, until one day, you look at yourself and don't recognize who you've become. I still remember the day I moved into her house. My daughter, my little Mira, the same child whose fever I once sat awake through entire nights, whose tiny fingers clutched my sari palu whenever she was scared. That day, she stood at the door of her big city apartment, smiling brightly. "Come, Ma," she said. "Now you'll stay with me. I'll take care of you." Take care of me. Those words wrapped around my heart like warmth on a cold winter morning. After your husband passes away, the house grows unbearably quiet. Every ticking clock sounds louder, every meal feels incomplete. I thought, maybe this was God's way of giving me back a piece of my life. The first few days were beautiful. She made tea for me in the mornings. She insisted I rest. "You've done enough your whole life, Ma," she would say. "Now it's my turn." I believed her. I truly did. But slowly, things began to change. It started with small requests. "Ma, can you chop the vegetables? I'm running late." "Ma, can you just fold these clothes? I'll do the rest later." "Ma, can you prepare dinner tonight? I'm too tired." Of course, I said yes. What else does a mother do? Saying no to your child feels unnatural, almost sinful. And besides, I told myself, she's working hard. Life in the city isn't easy. So I helped. Then I helped more. And then, I stopped noticing that I was doing everything. The kitchen became mine again, but not in the way it used to be. Earlier, it was my kingdom, a place where I created meals with love, where every dish carried a piece of my heart. Now, it felt like a duty, a responsibility I didn't choose. Soon, mornings began before sunrise. I would wake up quietly, careful not to disturb her. I'd sweep the floors, prepare breakfast, pack her lunch, make tea. By the time she woke up, everything would be ready. At first, she would smile. Later, she stopped noticing. And then, one day, she complained. "Ma, the tea is too cold. You should have made it fresh when I woke up." I remember standing there, holding the cup in my trembling hands. I wanted to say something, anything, but the words got stuck in my throat. So I just nodded. "I'll make another one," I said softly. That was the first time I felt something break inside me. Not loudly, not completely, just a small crack. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Her tone changed. "Ma, why is the house still messy? Ma, you forgot to iron my clothes. Ma, can't you do one thing properly?" Each word felt like a tiny stone thrown at my heart. Not enough to shatter it, but enough to bruise it again and again. Sometimes, I would sit alone in my room, staring at the old photo album I had brought with me. There she was, my Mira, covered in birthday cake, laughing as I fed her sweets. There she was, crying on her first day of school, clinging to me. There she was, sleeping peacefully in my lap after a long day. I would trace her face in those pictures with my fingers and whisper, "Where did you go?" Because the woman outside, she didn't feel like my daughter anymore. She felt like someone else, someone distant, someone unkind. But every time I felt anger rising inside me, something stronger would push it down. Love. A mother's love is a strange thing. It doesn't disappear, even when it's hurt. It doesn't fade, even when it's ignored. It just stays. Quietly, patiently, hoping things will get better. So I stayed quiet. I told myself, she's stressed. She doesn't mean it. She's just tired. Excuses became my shield. They protected her, but slowly, they started destroying me. One evening, her friends came over. I had spent the entire day preparing food, her favorite dishes, snacks, desserts. My legs were aching, my back felt like it might snap, but I was happy. Maybe today, she would appreciate me. Maybe today, she would say, "This is my mother." Her friends arrived, laughing and chatting loudly. I stayed in the kitchen, listening to their voices, waiting. "Wow, this food is amazing," one of them said. "Where did you order from?" There was a pause, and then I heard her laugh. "Oh, it's just made at home." Just made at home. Not my mother made it. Not even a mention. Just made. As if I were invisible. As if I didn't exist. I stood there, holding the serving spoon, my hands shaking. That crack inside me, it grew a little deeper. That night, after everyone left, I gathered the plates, cleaned the kitchen, and quietly went to my room. I didn't cry. Not anymore. Because when tears fall too often, they start to feel meaningless. Instead, I sat by the window, looking at the dark sky. And for the first time, the thought crossed my mind. A dangerous thought. Is this my home, or just a place where I work without pay? The question scared me, because somewhere deep down, the next morning began like every other. Before the sun had even stretched its light across the sky, I was already awake. My bones protested as I got up, a dull ache settling deep within them, like they were trying to remind me of something I kept ignoring. But habit is a powerful thing. I tied my hair, draped my old cotton sari properly, and walked into the kitchen. The floor was cold beneath my feet, the air still and quiet. For a moment, I stood there, just standing, staring at the utensils, the stove, the sink. I don't know why. Maybe some part of me didn't want to begin the day. But I did, because that's what I had been doing every single day. Breakfast was simple, poha and tea. I made it the way she liked, with extra peanuts and a little less salt. I even garnished it with fresh coriander leaves, the way I used to when she was younger. Back then, she would clap her hands and say, "Ma, it looks like hotel food." Today, I wasn't expecting praise, but I wasn't expecting what came next either. She walked into the dining area, scrolling through her phone, barely glancing at the table. "Ma, I'm getting late," she said. "It's ready," I replied gently, placing the plate in front of her. She took one bite, and then her face tightened. "Why is there so much oil in this?" she snapped. "Do you even know how to cook healthy food?" My hands froze mid-air. I looked at the dish. It looked fine, the same way I had made it for years. I didn't put much oil," I said quietly. She sighed loudly, pushing the plate slightly away. "You never listen. I've told you so many times. I can't eat like this. If I fall sick, who's going to handle everything? Who's going to handle everything?" The words echoed in my mind, as if I wasn't already handling everything, as if I didn't exist beyond the chores I completed. "I'll make something else," I whispered. But she was already getting up. "Leave it. I'll eat outside." And just like that, she left. The door closed behind her with a sharp click that felt louder than it should have. I stood there alone, the untouched plate in front of me, the same hands that had once fed her with love, now trembling, unsure of what they had done wrong. I slowly sat down in the chair. For the first time in months, I looked at the food not as a task, but as something I had made. And I took a bite. It tasted fine, just like it always had. So why did it feel like I had failed? That question stayed with me the entire day. That afternoon, something happened. Something small, but something that changed everything. Her phone had been left behind. It kept ringing while she was at work. At first, I ignored it. It didn't feel right to touch her things. But then the calls kept coming again and again. What if it was something important? What if she needed help? My heart began to race. So I picked it up. The screen lit up with a name I didn't recognize. The call stopped just as I reached for it. And then a message appeared. Yar, how do you manage with your mom at home all the time? I would go crazy. I stared at the screen. My chest tightened. Before I could stop myself, I opened the message. And then another one appeared. Honestly, I don't even feel like it's my house anymore. It's like living with a responsibility. A responsibility. Not a mother. Not someone who gave her life for her. Just a responsibility. My fingers felt numb, but my eyes kept reading. I mean, she helps with the house, so it's useful, but sometimes it's too much. Always there. Always watching. Useful. That word hit harder than anything else. I wasn't her mother anymore. I was useful. Like an object. Like something you keep around because it serves a purpose. I don't remember when I sat down. I don't remember how long I stared at that screen. All I remember is the silence. A heavy, suffocating silence that filled the entire house. For months, I had been telling myself stories. She's just stressed. She doesn't mean it. She loves me. She just doesn't show it. But those messages, they stripped away every lie I had built to protect my heart. They showed me the truth that I had been too afraid to see. I wasn't living with my daughter. I was living in her house, on her terms, at her convenience, and my presence to my existence had been reduced to how useful I could be. A strange feeling rose inside me. Not just pain, not just sadness. Something else. Something I hadn't felt in a long time. Anger. But it wasn't loud. It didn't explode. It sat quietly, deep inside my chest, like a fire that had just been lit. That evening, when she came home, I watched her differently. She kicked off her shoes, dropped her bag, and walked straight to her room without even looking at me. "Ma, is dinner ready?" she called out casually, her voice so normal, as if nothing had changed, as if she hadn't just erased me from her world with a few careless words. "Yes," I replied, but my voice sounded different. Even to me, she didn't notice. She never did. At dinner, she ate quietly, scrolling through her phone. Not a word, not a glance, not a single acknowledgement. And for the first time, I didn't try to fill the silence. I didn't ask if the food was okay. I didn't ask about her day. I didn't try to be the mother I had always been, because something inside me had shifted. For months, I had been shrinking myself, making myself smaller, quieter, easier to ignore. But now, I could feel something rising. A question. A painful, uncomfortable question. Is love supposed to feel like this? And right behind it, another one. Or have I been accepting something that is? What about my dignity? What about my life? What about the woman I used to be before I became this shadow? For the first time in a long time, I didn't have an answer, but I knew one thing. Something had to change, because if it didn't, I would lose myself completely. And maybe, just maybe, I was finally beginning to understand that love without respect is not love at all. That night, I didn't sleep. Not because of pain. I had learned to live with that. Not because of tears, those had already dried up. But because something inside me refused to stay quiet anymore. For years, I had lived for others. First for my husband, then for my daughter. Every decision, every sacrifice, every breath, it had always been for someone else. And now, lying there in the darkness, I realized something that shook me to my core. I had never truly lived for myself. The thought was both terrifying and strangely freeing. The next morning, I didn't wake up before sunrise. For the first time in months, I let myself sleep. When I opened my eyes, sunlight had already filled the room. The clock showed 8:30. I sat up slowly, my heart beating faster than usual. A part of me panicked. You're late. The housework, breakfast, her lunch. But another voice, quieter, yet stronger, whispered, "And what about you?" I stayed where I was. Just for a moment. But that moment felt like rebellion. "Ma!" Her voice rang through the house. Sharp. Irritated. "Ma, where are you? Why isn't breakfast ready?" I closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and for the first time, I didn't rush. I got up slowly, adjusted my sari, and walked out of my room. She was standing in the kitchen, her face already tense. "What is this, Ma? I'm getting late. You know my schedule." I looked at her, really looked at her, not as the little girl I once held, but as the woman standing in front of me. And then I said something I had never said before. "You can make your own breakfast today." Silence. The kind of silence that makes your ears ring. Her eyes widened. "What?" I said, "You can make your own breakfast." I repeated, my voice calm but firm. She stared at me like I had just said something impossible. "Are you serious right now?" she snapped. "What's gotten into you?" For a second, fear tried to creep in. The old habit of apologizing, of fixing things, of shrinking myself. But I didn't let it win. "I'm not feeling well," I said simply. "And even if I were, you're capable of taking care of yourself." Her expression changed, from shock to anger. "So now you're going to start acting like this," she said, crossing her arms. "After everything I've done for you." Those words, "after everything I've done for you," they used to make me feel guilty. Today, they made something inside me stand taller. "Everything you've done for me?" I repeated softly. I took a step forward. "I raised you," I said, my voice steady. "I gave you my life, my time, my love. Not because I had to, but because I wanted to." She looked away, uncomfortable. But I never kept count. I continued. "I never made you feel like a burden. I never treated you like a responsibility." Her jaw tightened. "This is different, Ma," she said defensively. "You're living in my house now. Things have to be managed properly." There it was. The truth. Out in the open. I nodded slowly, You're right, I said. That seemed to catch her off guard. I am living in your house. The words felt heavy, but honest. And maybe that's the problem. She frowned. What does that mean? It means, I paused, choosing my words carefully, that somewhere along the way, we forgot what we are to each other. I looked straight into her eyes. I am your mother, not your servant, not your responsibility, not something that's useful to keep around. Her face went pale. For a moment, just a moment, I saw something flicker in her eyes. Guilt. But it disappeared quickly. You read my messages? She asked sharply. I didn't deny it. Yes. That's an invasion of privacy, Ma. And what about dignity? I asked quietly. Is that not important? She had no answer. The silence between us felt different this time. Not heavy, not suffocating, just real. I took a deep breath. I'm leaving, I said. Her head snapped up. What? I'm going back, I continued. To my house. That old place, she scoffed. You can't live there alone. I lived there for years, I replied. And I wasn't alone. I had myself. She shook her head. This is ridiculous. You're overreacting. No, I said gently. For the first time, I'm reacting the right way. I walked back into my room. My hands trembled as I opened the cupboard. There wasn't much to pack. A few sorries, some old photographs, memories that didn't need space in a suitcase. As I folded my clothes, my heart felt strangely light. Not because it didn't hurt, but because, for the first time in a long time, I was choosing myself. When I stepped out with my bag, she was standing near the door. Her expression had softened. Ma, she said, her voice quieter now. You don't have to do this. I looked at her. Really looked. I do, I said. Why? She asked, almost helplessly. I smiled faintly. Because I deserve to feel like a person again. Her eyes filled with something I couldn't quite name. Regret, maybe. Or realization. I didn't mean to hurt you, she whispered. I know, I said. And that's what makes it harder. I walked past her, stopping just for a moment at the door. I will always love you, I said softly. That will never change. I turned to face her one last time. But from now on, I will also love myself. And then, I stepped out. The air outside felt different. Lighter, fresher, as if the world had been waiting for me to return. I didn't know what the future held. I didn't know if she would ever truly understand. But for the first time in a long time, I felt free. Not because my life was perfect, but because I had finally remembered my worth. And sometimes, that's where real happiness begins.